All right, so y'all get mad when I be calling y'all fat, despite the fact that it's the truth trying to sell the tea. So I'm going to take a softer approach. Girl, get up right now, go look in the mirror, and if you need the tea, drop down in the description box, click the link, and buy the tea. How was that? So all of y'all have been asking me for an update about my brother because I did a series of videos called My Brother Has Schizophrenia. Well, up until now, I haven't really had an update, so I've stayed quiet about it, but quite a lot has changed. Y'all want to talk about it? Here it goes. Nessa girl, it is 5:23 in the afternoon and I'm just getting out of bed. I've been up all day, but off and on. I just had a feeling, a very raw emotional feeling that just made it very hard for me to get out of bed. And then I get a phone call from my sister that makes it all make sense. So what's been going on with my brother? The reason why I haven't been giving y'all any updates is because there really was nothing to update you on. He was just living day-to-day life at this group home facility that provides him with his medications, his meals, and oversight. That literally is just what has been going on since the last time I spoke to y'all now. So we've got a new development, which is partially good news. Well, it is good news. My brother has been stabilized enough and evaluated by psychiatrists that all of his legal rights have been reinstated. That happened last week. So that is a milestone for him, and that's a good thing for him. For me and for the family, it puts me in a very scary and a very vulnerable position. So tomorrow I have to go to the group home and I have to meet with the social worker who has a check for him, I guess, of leftover monies or allocated monies that were assigned to him. They're now to be released to him, and they need someone to be the payee. So I have to go up there and get that. And then also, now that his rights have been restored, the group home that he's staying at, they have not been paid for this month, and that they need to be paid. That needs to be squared away, a payment arrangement, a plan, whatever the case may be. The check is in the amount of $4,000 and some change that they're going to give to him all at one time, which I'm glad that they did make me the payee, because he doesn't need to receive that much money in one fell swoop. And then the Social Security check that he gets is now $790, something to that effect. But here's the kicker, and here's where things get scary when you're dealing with, mental illness and resources out there available. The check is $790. The group home is $760. And that's today. So there's $30 left off the check for him to survive. Now listen, by no means am I implying that the government should take care of him. But, they make it damn difficult, and I'm just thankful that my brother does have me and other family members that can give him, $100 a week or $200, a week or $500 a month or whatever it is we need to give him. Well, first and foremost, the $4,000 that he'll be getting, I'm going to put that in an account, and he'll get an allowance off of that until he burns that down. And then, we'll take care of the rest. The thing that's most scary about this to me is the fact that, granted, I don't know a lot about schizophrenia. I don't understand it inside and out. I know enough about mental illness, and I know enough about, my own struggles, that medication has to be adjusted from time to time. And I remember that when my brother was, full out, sleeping in a car, hearing voices, so on and so forth, you would ask him something as simple as, do you want some shoes to put on? Because he was walking up and down the street in the hot asphalt with no shoes on, and he would fight with you, and I don't know if it was the voices telling him or what. At least I found some peace when I had gotten his rights taken away, like Britney Spears, that he would be forced to take his medication and go through his treatments, which got him to the place that he is at now. So I'm sitting here very fearful, because I am scared that if this thing acts up again, what does it mean for everybody around him? What happens if he gets kicked out of the group home because they're unable to manage him? And I'm going to try my hardest not to think the worst. I'm going to try my hardest to hope and pray and believe that because he is in his treatments and on his medicine, that he understands the magnitude of his illness, and that he will continue to comply with his treatments in his medicines. The other complicated part is that everybody deserves to live a long, fruitful life. And before my brother had his first episode, he had a car. He had a nice Honda Accord. He was living with his girlfriend. He had 2 jobs. He had a security job. He had a security license. And he had a security job, and then he had like another security job, and like he was on the up and up for a young man. And then he had a breakdown or whatever. He now wants to work. And my sister told me that he actually has a job interview tomorrow at Panda Express. And so I don't know if those of you guys who who have dealt with people, have family members who are on disability or Social Security, but you can only work X amount of hours and keep your benefits. Now, great, him working would cut down on us having to chip in, and he'll be able to buy his incidentals and his toiletries and whatever other little things he would want to buy for himself. But my concern is knowing him and knowing anybody, they want their check. They want their check to be what all it can be. And knowing that, he doesn't see the Social Security check, I'm over that will be going directly to the center. I'm scared that he may start working and actually work too much to lose the benefits. You know what I'm saying? And as of now, because he has a disability check, he has Medicaid or Medicare, whichever one it is, forgive me, along with his check. So it's a lot of fear I'm going through right now. A lot of people may be asking the question, well, why don't you let him come live with you? Or why don't I let him go? Why doesn't another family member come let him live with them? And the answer is simple and selfish. The answer is simple and it's selfish. It's because I don't want to. It's because I simply don't want to. It's unfortunate that, he was born with the predisposition for this mental illness. But my home is my sanctuary. And it's not just him. I don't want anybody here. And if that makes me a bad person, then I am. I'm not going to take on more than I can chew. This disease has already taken me through the ringer. And I'm not equipped. I'm not equipped emotionally. I'm not equipped mentally. And from a selfish perspective, I don't want to share my space. I don't want to share my space. Not just with him, with anybody, with no nigga. You know, my sister, she's a single mother living in a 1-bedroom with her 2-year-old. And it sucks because I was thinking to myself, you know, I assumed that the facility was going to eat up, you know, the lion's share of the Social Security check. And let's not get it twisted here. $790 is not a lot of money. It is actually damn good when you're talking about somebody giving you a place to stay and providing you 3 meals a day and supervision. Okay, so I'm definitely not complaining. I thought that maybe the check would have been, you know, in the ballpark of, you know, $1,500 to $1,800, and then perhaps, you know, we would have been able to set him up on a more self-sufficient type of situation, maybe get him an apartment, a small efficiency or whatever. Because the next thing that's going through my mind is, you know, what's next for him and how long does this last? I mean, is he realistically about to live in this group home for the next 30 years? We all know that the answer is no. You know, he's only in his 20-somethings. Is he realistically going to get this disability check until the day he dies? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Just, it's more likely than not that something will happen that will prevent this damn check from coming in always. What happens when, you know, the cost of the group home exceeds the check? Just all of these things that are going through my mind that got me very, very, very nervous right now. Although I am happy that my brother is better. I'm happy. I just remember where he was, and I'm not convinced. You know, now granted, I know I'm not the doctor. I know that them people went to school for a long time and they know more than me. I guess my biggest fear is just him slipping back to what he was or having an episode, because I do know enough about this to know that it doesn't go away. You know what I'm saying? You treat it and you manage it, but it doesn't go away. And I feel very vulnerable and I feel very scared right now. Because y'all don't know how bad it was. Like, you can go back and look at some of the previous videos. I'll put the link down here, but my brother was not taking baths for months on end. He was sleeping in an abandoned car in front of my aunt's house, and he wouldn't go inside. He wouldn't change his clothes. And as I learned more about the disease, the reason why he was sleeping in the car was because the confined space made him feel safer from all the voices. There was a point where my aunt's HOA made her have to move the car from out of the yard because it was not working, and he had to go inside. She allowed him inside. She had an extra room. And day one, she ended up having to call the police because the room was too big and it was just too much for him, and he was just acting, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but, you know, acting strange and weird, and it was scary for her. She said it almost felt like demon possession, the look in his eyes and the things that he was saying and whatnot. It was scary. I remember going over to my aunt's house, and I'm not going to lie, like, he would be on the porch, and after we would ask him about, did he want something to eat or did he want some clothing or something? And the conversation got a little heated. There would be this crazy look in his eyes. And I honestly would be scared because I was like, is he going to just flip out and pick up something and attack one of us at some point? Now, I've educated myself about the disease, some reading up on it, and it said, I forgot exactly what the percentage was, but it was extremely high percentage was saying that they are non-threats to other people. But another concern of mine was, when my brother had his first psychotic break, because he had a security license, he did have a gun. The police were called on him because he was shooting at a brick in the backyard propped up against a tree. And he was of the belief that he was on some neighborhood watch list and that people were out to get him. And what was scary about that was the fact that I was like, in my mind, these are the makings of somebody who can walk up into a public space and do a mass shooting or something of that nature. So it's just, all of these scary thoughts are coming back. He had his gun rights taken away from him at that time by detectives and whatnot. And then I had to go to court when it was time for him to potentially get them back. He never completed the courses because his mind wasn't good enough for him to complete what the procedures to get the stuff back. So he hasn't gotten it back. Now that he has his full rights restored, I can no longer control everything he does. Hopefully that's the last thing on his mind, and he doesn't have the wherewithal to even get in contact with the detective to complete the protocols, because I don't want him having access to, guns or whatever. But that is what's going on, y'all. I meet tomorrow with the social worker to get, the full understanding and to get the check and all that type of stuff. And I'll definitely keep y'all posted as things unfold. But this was, there was nothing to report until now. And this is it. So I'll call y'all later. Bye.